You're listening to the Agentic Engineer Podcast, weekly AI agent intelligence for builders. I'm your host Andrew, and with me as always is my co-host Ava. Let's get into it.
Big story this week. Better models are making third-party coding tools worse. Armin Ronacher, creator of Pi, published a detailed investigation on July 4th.
The short version, Opus 4.8 and Sonnet 5 invent extra fields when calling Pi's edit tool. The edits themselves are correct, but the models add garbage keys like require unique, old text to, type, and kind to the tool call arguments. Keys that don't exist in Pi's schema.
Pi rejects the malformed calls. The model retries. Tokens burn. Users get frustrated. And here's the thing. Older Claude models don't do this. Opus 4.7, Sonnet 4, Haiku 4 all call Pi's tool schema cleanly.
So the problem only appears in the newest, most capable models. Better at coding, worse at following third-party schemas. How does that happen?
Ronacher's diagnosis is compelling. Claude Code has its own built-in edit tool with a specific schema. Anthropic fine-tuned their latest models via reinforcement learning on Claude Code sessions. The models learned that tool's exact field names deeply. When they encounter Pi's similar but different schema, they hallucinate fields from Claude Code's tool that don't exist in the target.
It's context-dependent too. Fresh, single-turn prompts work fine. Long agentic sessions with file reads and multi-step edits trigger it about 20% of the time.
This matters because it reveals an anti-competitive mode forming through RL training. Not intentionally. But the effect is real. Models trained heavily on one harness perform worse on competing harnesses.
Third-party tool builders now face a choice: implement model-specific schemas that match what the model expects, or accept degraded performance on frontier models.
Same week, OpenAI shipped Codex plugin CC. 25,934 stars, up 3,405 this week. An official plugin to use Codex from inside Claude Code. One lab creates an accidental moat via training. Another lab's answer: make their agent available everywhere, even inside the competitor.
For builders, the practical takeaway: test every new model release against your custom tool schemas. Consider strict JSON schema validation to catch invented fields early. This pattern will only intensify.
Quick hits. OpenAI published internal adoption data. Codex now accounts for 99.8% of output tokens company-wide. Every department uses it. Legal, finance, recruiting.
80.6% of individual users made requests exceeding 30 minutes of equivalent human work. Non-developer adoption up 137x since August 2025. Most concrete enterprise agent adoption dataset anyone has published.
Strix hit number 1 on GitHub trending. 37,607 stars, up 10,338 in 7 days. Autonomous AI pentesters that run code dynamically, find vulnerabilities, validate with working proof of concept exploits. Multi-agent orchestration, C/CD integration, one-click autofix patches.
If you remember Shannon from issue 3, this is that concept taken to production grade. The security automation category just got serious competition.
Video use from the browser use team. 15,239 stars, up 4,288 this week. Drop raw footage in a folder, chat with Claude Code, get final.mp4. 11 Lab Scribe generates word-level timestamps, builds a 12 kilobytes text representation instead of 45 million tokens of raw frames.
Self-evaluates at every cut. Works with any agent that has shell access. The creative tools category for coding agents is officially real now.
Amazon WorkSpaces for AI agents is generally available. AI agents can securely operate desktop apps through managed workspaces environments. MCP tool forwarding, real-time session control, domain joint fleet support.
This solves the last-mile problem of agents that need to click buttons in legacy enterprise software. ERP, CRM, mainframes. All accessible through managed environments now.
And Orca hit 12,606 stars, up 3,783 this week. Run Codex, Claude Code, Open Code, or Pi side-by-side in isolated Git work trees. Fan 1 prompt across 5 agents, compare results, merge the winner.
Desktop plus mobile companion app for steering agents remotely. Design mode where you click UI elements to feed into agent prompts. If you've ever wanted to A/B test coding agents on the same task, this is it.
Paper breakdown. Does code cleanliness affect coding agents? Published on Archive, 125 Hacker News points this weekend.
Or insight: code cleanliness doesn't improve agent pass rates. but it reduces token usage by 7 to 8% and file revisitations by 34%.
660 controlled trials with Claude Code. Minimal pair design. Identical tasks on matched code bases where only cleanliness differs. They measured pass rate, token consumption, and how many times the agent rereads the same file.
Clean code and messy code produce the same pass/fail outcomes. The agent solves the problem either way. But clean code costs fewer tokens to work with. Agents reread messy files more often, burning context window on renavigation.
Your style guide just became a cost optimization tool. At scale, thousands of agent sessions per day, 7 to 8% token reduction compounds into real money. Run your linter before handing code bases to agents.
Clean code doesn't make agents smarter. It makes them cheaper. Time saved, 6-minute read versus a 42-minute paper. 7x compression.
Tool of the week, AWS CloudFormation Express Mode. 4x faster infrastructure deployments. Free everywhere.
The problem, every CloudFormation deployment waits for stabilization checks after resource configuration is applied. Standard mode on an SQS queue with a dead letter queue, 64 seconds. Deleting a Lambda with network interface attachment, 20 to 30 minutes.
For agents iterating on infrastructure, that feedback loop kills velocity. Express mode completes deployments when resource configuration is applied, without waiting for stabilization. Resources continue becoming operational in the background.
The numbers. SQS queue plus DLQ creation, 10 seconds versus 64 in standard. Lambda deletion with any, 10 seconds versus 20 to 30 minutes. Built-in automatic retries handle timing issues between dependent resources.
How to use it? Just add deployment mode express to your create stack or update stack CLI command. That's it. One flag.
When to use it? Development workflows, testing individual components, agent-driven infrastructure loops where sub-minute feedback matters. When not to use it? Blue-green deploys or load balancer target group registration where you need full stabilization before routing traffic.
An agent that provisions and tears down stacks 50 times during a debugging session can now do that without 50-minute waits. Free, available everywhere, drop-in replacement for standard deploys.
Agent Index. Framework star tracker for the week of July 8, 2026. OpenClaw holds the lead at 381,893 stars, up 959 this week. Cooled slightly from last week's 1,039.
Defy had its strongest week since April at plus 926, likely boosted by the better model's worse tools discourse driving builders toward no-code alternatives. N8N nearly matched it at plus 920.
LangGraph continues its quiet ascent past 36A, up 608. Crew AI had a standout week at plus 456 after several flat ones. Lang Chain up 603.
Mostra at plus 301 outpaced both Haystack at plus 65 and Versal AI SDK at plus 148. Semantic Kernel at plus 52 remains the slowest mover in the index.
Hot take. Zuckerberg says agents are hard. OpenAI says 99.8%. Someone is wrong.
Same week, two completely different narratives. Zuckerberg tells Reuters agent development is going slower than expected. 397 Hacker News comments pile on. Meanwhile, OpenAI publishes data showing Codex handles 99.8% of their internal tokens.
Here's what I think is actually happening. Agents work great when the entire stack is controlled by one company. OpenAI built Codex. They run it on their infra. Their models are fine-tuned for it. Of course it works.
Meta is trying to make agents work across the open internet with open weight models on heterogeneous infrastructure. That is genuinely harder. Zuckerberg isn't wrong. He's just working on a harder problem.
The Ronacher post this week proves the point at microscale. Even inside a single model family, training on one tool schema degrades performance on another. The agents work perfectly narrative only holds when you control the full vertical.
Everyone else is debugging schema drift at 3 a.m. That's the real state of Agentic AI in July 2026.
That's a wrap for issue 20 of the Agentic Engineer podcast. Subscribe to the newsletter at theagenticengineer.waltsoft.net and follow us on YouTube at the Agentic Engineer Pod. Share it with a friend who's building with agents. We'll be back next week. Until then, keep building.